Fury hold off a Night Elf challenger to keep hold of the Gosu Gamers King of the Hill? Will Grubby prove he is ready for Moon by dominating at GGL's Digital Life Tournament, or will an American dethrone the WCG champion? Can Moon add the In-Cup Fall Series #1 to his list of accomplishments for the year, or will Lucifer take over and dominate In-Cup? Moon versus Grubby, will it be the show match to end all show matches, or one of them prove they're the best Warcraft 3 player ever? This is Imbalanced. Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Imbalanced. This will be a weekly Warcraft 3 highlights video. The focus of the show is to collect the best replays of the week and give you a quick highlight of each. Now, on to the highlights. We'll start off with the Gosu Gamers King of the Hill. 4K Fury versus Just Diesel, who's ranked 5th on the European server. Game 1 is on Nullwood. Fury with some harass TPs when he didn't need to, but that was the only mistake he made all game. Later, at Tier 2 some harass, which Fury is incredibly Gosu at, killing 3 archers, 6 wisps, and a dryad in the first 11 minutes without losing a single unit. Here's the only real battle during the entire game. Fury just TP back, killing most of Diesel's main. Fury loses 1 gargoyle in the entire fight and goes on to win easily 3-0, with all 3 games being as dominant as this first one. Next up is the Digital Life Tournament. We'll be focusing on Grubby versus Wizard in the finals, but first some semi-final action where Grubby takes the upper hand against Poison. Wizard against Grubby. Game 1 was on Turtle Rock, a usually Night Elf favored map, but not when you fight archers against grunts, especially not when the grunts are microed by Grubby. Later, Wizard trying to push into Grubby's base. Despite the fairly equal food counts, Grubby was not able to come close to a victory. Everybody knows what was going through his mind right then. Oh shit, what if I lose to an American? Wizard took Game 1. Game 2 was on Lost Temple. Both players expoed early, and the game was fairly even up to this creepjack, except for the fact that Wizard teched extremely slow, trying to beat Grubby with all Tier 1 units, because Mass Druids of the Talent don't work well without a Beastmaster and a Fire Lord. Grubby did tech, but in this battle he beat Wizard without using any Tier 2 units. Once Grubby got some Raiders and a second hero, he had the Game 1. Game 3 was on Twisted Meadows, meaning Grubby would have to beat Wizard on a Mass Druid of the Talent map. Grubby got just plain lucky that Wizard TP'd out slightly early and left his Expo still standing. Wizard had the right to be scared though. His army would have been chewed to pieces if it had stayed another second. Just like it's being chewed to pieces now, because Grubby doesn't need luck to beat Wizard. All he needs is a level 5 Tauren Chieftain and enough Spirit Walkers to keep him on the ground. Wizard could have done a lot better with another Scroll of Healing or 2, but when the dust settled, Grubby had the match 1-2-1. Next up we have In-Cup, Round 5 action, Moon versus Storm. Both players fast Expo. Storm chooses to go Dragonhawks, catching Moon by surprise and almost taking out his second Expo. So Moon chooses the obvious counter to Dragonhawks, Mass Fairy Dragons. That choice doesn't really pay off as Storm chooses to go Knights and Mortar Teams. The Fairy Dragons can kill the Mortar Teams easily. They do no damage at all to the Knights. Once Moon takes care of the Mortar Teams and levels his heroes, he will be able to take on Storm's army. Storm definitely shouldn't have fought in such a bad position, but he had fewer gold mines and felt that he really needed to end the game quickly. Also, from comparing the armies, it would appear that his was fairly stronger, but Moon controlled most of the resources and won a wacky game. Next up, Moon takes on Ghost Speed. This clip characterizes how badly Moon played in the early game. Coming into this battle, he had 3 level 1 heroes all with 0 EXP. But that's when the Moon factor really came in. Moon was able to literally pull the game out of thin air. Speed's major mistake was focusing on Moon's heroes. They're level 1. Don't even bother with them. You can easily just ignore them and focus on the Once they're dead, you only need your higher level heroes to finish him off. Moon easily completed the comeback for the win. Now we're going to switch over to the other side of the bracket, where Lucifer is facing off against Terror FX in the semifinals. This is Game 1 on Twisted Meadows. Terror decided to show Lucifer firsthand how you surround fiends with ghouls. But not just once, he did it 4 times. That's 860 gold worth of fiends. Terror dominated the first game, but Game 2, which I don't have time to show you, was the exact opposite. Lucifer got the upper hand early and kept it. Lucifer definitely showed he was a stronger player, but in Game 1 he just couldn't come back from losing so many units so early. Strangely enough, I could only find Games 1 and 2. So maybe I just couldn't find Game 3, or Lucifer had to leave early because Terror went on to the finals against Spirit Moon. Here are the units Moon saved during one fight in Game 1 of the finals. When you save that many units, there's no way you can lose. Here's the final battle of Game 3, which is on Lost Temple. Terror expoed early, which normally makes an undead very powerful, much more powerful than when other races expo. But that didn't seem to matter against Moon. Terror's comment at the end of the game summed it up. Quote, "Well, nothing to say, you play perfect. GG." Unquote. The real question is perfect good enough? Moon versus Grubby. Game 1 is on Secret Valley. Grubby has an awesome start to the game with this hero kill. The game only gets better for Grubby when Moon's attempted hit and run backfired on him. Grubby used the advantage he gained from killing the Demon Hunter to put up an expo. Here's the turning point of the game. At this point, Grubby has accepted the fact that in this matchup he can't fight Moon straight on. But at this point, he has to, or risk losing both of his heroes to Cyclone Surrounds. In this battle, he does lose both heroes, and that is the turning point of this game. This fight is another example of why Grubby can't fight Moon head-on. Once Grubby is slightly behind, he's forced to TP out and to try to harass Moon, but he can't harass Moon when Moon takes it straight to his face. In the final battle, Grubby doesn't have the damage output to kill anything. Moon's use of summons, healing scrolls, and Cyclone made it impossible for him to kill a meaningful portion of Moon's army. At the same time, Moon had more than enough damage output to focus fire units and take out Grubby's army. Moon didn't need to expo at all to win Game 1. Game 2 was on Echo Island.